Okay, so continue with compound interest. This is just practicing plugging in the formula or plugging into the TBM solver if it's a compound interest case. So I'm going to do a few more examples in this set of notes. Alright, so problem number 6, some more examples. Determine the amount of money to the nearest dollar that I need to invest at 7% interest compounded monthly so that I'll have $1 million in 25 years when I retire. And that should have been did. How much interest did my investment earn? Alright, so there's actually two parts to this. So this one is how much interest did my investment earn? Well, I have to do a little work to get there. It's kind of like the time problem. I have to do a little work to figure out interest. Interest, in this case, is going to be my future value minus my present value. My future value is $1 million. I don't know my present value, right? That's what I have to figure out. How much do I need to invest now, right? Determine the amount of money I need to invest now, so what's my present value? And I need to figure that out in order to figure out how much interest I earn. So I need to find PV. I know my future value, that's $1 million. I figure out how much I need to invest to make it all work. I have to plug it into the TBM solver. Alright, so N is going to be my compounding period, which is monthly, so 12 times years, so 25 years I need to invest. I, which is 7. Present value, which is what I'm going to solve for. PMT is 0, as always in these examples. Future value, again, be careful. Make sure you get all your zeros. If I'm going to screw something up, that's what I'm going to mess up, and I'm mistype a 0. The compounding period and payment period are the same. They're 12 monthly. Alright, so type that in carefully. And again, the calculator will simplify that for you. I just usually type in exactly 12 times 25, and then it simplifies it for me. Alright, present value is what and it is going to come out negative because it's out of my pocket. I'm taking it out of my pocket, and I'm investing it for 25 years. I can't touch it. It's an IRA, an individual retirement plan, or 401k. Right, that's how you invest it. Alright, when you put your money into those, you cannot touch them until you turn a certain age. So many years have to go by before you can touch it, because the bank, that's how the bank makes their money. They use your money in other investments and other loans, and then they give you a % back for allowing you to use their money. Alright. And so this is negative when it comes out. And so when it comes out, that value is going to be negative 174659.73, which the negative just means a direction, so you can kind of ignore the negative. So my present value, the amount I need to invest now, is $174,659.73. So basically a house. That's about how much a house, a decent middle-sized house, is worth. But if you think about it, that's how much I'm investing. I'm leaving it in there, not touching it for 25 years. In 25 years, if I don't touch it, I will have $1 million. $1 million will come from my investments. It will come from my retirement plan. And so the rest of it comes from interest. So I want to figure out, that's how much out-of-pocket money I have to spend. How much interest did I earn? How much did my investments make for me? And they make a significant amount. And so that's the second part of this problem. Well, how much interest? So my interest is the future value, which is $1 million, minus how much out-of-pocket money I had to spend. And so when we take $1 million minus the $174.65.93, alright, my investments did pretty good. Alright, they earned me a little, actually not a little over, $25,000 over. So they earned me $825,000 in interest. That's how much my investments earned. I put that in the account. I left it alone. I allowed my investments to, again, earn me money. And they did. Alright, they earned me quite a bit of money. But again, it's a pretty high interest rate. So it would be in a very good 401k, a very good stock portfolio that guarantees 7%. And I left it alone for 25 years, which is a long amount of time. I couldn't touch it for 25 years. Alright, and that's how much my investment was worth. Alright, next example. You plan to invest a little more reasonable amount. All right, so suppose you have just extra $1,500 that you got. You got a stimulus check, right? A lot of us got stimulus checks from the pandemic. Suppose you got your stimulus check, and instead of just blowing it, you decide to invest it. And a lot of investment plans, actually 3% is about a low for some. A lot of investment plans out there, anywhere between 7% and 3%. So you invest it into a savings account or into, again, usually it's some type of portfolio that guarantees 3.75% interest compounded monthly. All right, you decide, all right, that you just put it in there now, and you're going to squirrel it away until you want to retire in 20 years, so to speak. So suppose you leave the money alone for 20 years. Again, you can't touch it. We want to know how much interest did you earn. So it's the same type of problem. We're looking for interest. All right, so we want to find interest. Well, remember, interest is future value minus present value. This time, we're given the present value, 1,500. We have to find the future value in order to get to the answer I want. Alright, so again, I solve for the future value. So I plug it in my calculator. N is my compounding period, which is monthly, 12, for 20 years. I is my guaranteed return, which is 3.75. Present value, the amount I put in the investment, so it's negative 1,500. That's 0. Future value is what I've got to solve for. My compounding period and my payment period. Or 12, right? Monthly. So again, this is what we're solving for. So my future value, if I decide to invest my stimulus check, and I'm guaranteed a 3%, almost a 4% return, 3.75% return. Alright, how much money will I have in 20 years? Alright, I'll double my money. A little better than double my money. Again, it's a small number. Right? The bigger the number, the better it would be. So if I could invest twice that, I would earn twice that. But I did double my money. I did a little better than double my money. I'll have an extra $3,000. Alright, so my money will double. My future value, so I'm figuring out interest. So this is how much my future value is. The answer is looking for interest. So $3,171.78 minus the $1,500 that we put in. And so the interest we get is $1,671.79. So like I said, we do a little bit better than double our money, all right, in the 20-year period. So I get twice of what I invested, and a little more. Remember, this is the extra, right? You have $3,171.78. $1,500 of that is your out-of-pocket money. $1,671 of that is the interest that the bank or the investment gave you. All right, the 3.75% interest. All right. The last one, I wanted to come back and do another depreciation example. So this is the last one. So your car was valued at $15,000 when you purchased it 5 years ago. If the value of your car depreciates by 8% per year, what's the current value of your car? So this is another one of those loss types. Like the first one we did. You're losing 8% per year, which means my interest rate is a negative 8. Every year your car's value goes down by 8%. Whatever it was the previous year, it goes down by 8%. So that's the first thing, is remember your percent's negative. The second thing is the yearly is the compounding. So once a year, I lose 8% on whatever my previous year amount. So in the first year, I lose 8% on $15,000. But the second year, I lose 8% on whatever the value of my car was at the end of the first year. The third year, I lose 8% on whatever the value of my car was at the second year. And so it is compounding by 1 year. All right, we want to figure out how much it will be after 5 years of ownership. So in 5 years after you purchase it. So N is 1 times 5, or just 5. That's how long. Interest, remember, you've got to put it in as a negative because you're losing 8%. Present value, you bought your car, which means you spent your money, right? You no longer have that. Its value is now in your car, so it's a negative. PN T is 0. Future value is what we're looking for. We want to know how much did my car value depreciate to after 5 years. Those are both 1, right? My compounding period's 1. And so you plug them in and you solve for your future value. Alright, your future value, it should be less than $15,000, and it is. It's $9,886 and about 22 cents in change. And so after 5 years, this is the value of the car. Alright, so when you bought it, it was worth $15,000. Every year it depreciated by 8%. After 5 years, it's now only worth $9,886.22. Alright, so that's the second example of depreciation, because that's again a special case. Alright, on your own, try to figure one out. So again, these are 2 examples I want you to try. The second one is interest, so make sure you know how to figure out interest. And the first one's just a straightforward find your present value. Alright, so those are to do on your own, so that finishes up 2.2.